Hey everybody, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to Top 5 Friday. On a Friday, we get together and we have a look at the top 5, something probably to do with Blood Bowl. Now, we're continuing our quest for the best and brightest miniatures out there. So we're looking at the top third-party teams for Blood Bowl. So if you want a Lizardman team, but you don't fancy the Games Workshop Lizardman team, what else is out there for you to choose? So today, let's delve in. We're gonna kind of refer to a lot of the comments that you guys made on our posts and suggestions. So we've got one honorary mention, and then we're going to dive into our top 5. And the honorary mention does go to RNE Studios, Mythball Ceratops full team. So I think we had a couple of suggestions here. Yeah, Paul, I love the RNE Studio dinosaur team. It is super cool. Like, I love the Triceratops guys. I mean, I wonder if we can scroll, if there's it's just one picture. Oh, curses. Anyway, it's a cool team. So this is the Lizardman team. You've got the Triceratops guys. Have they got 3 horns? They got 3 horns. Who are your sauruses, and I guess the iguana looking dudes are the skinks. It's a cool team. Each one of these is a really good model. Like, I would happily grab one of these guys and scale it up and run it as a Croxagore or a big guy or whatever, because they're really, really cool miniatures. The sad thing is, when it comes to RNE Studio, this is sold out on their website, and $49, it is on the high end of the STL market. But it is pretty cool. You've got all the pieces that you need. Sort of. You don't have chameleon skinks, you don't have a Croxagore, but the thing is, when you're 3D printing, Croxagores are easy to come by, but for $49 you kind of want absolutely everything, and you don't quite get everything that you want there. You can definitely use a couple of skinks as chameleon skinks if you need to, like, not really a problem, paint them differently, and you can definitely upscale one of the Triceratops guys to be your Croxagore, but you've got 7 sculpts there, so it's not too unreasonable. Anyway, RNE Studio Ceratops is the honourable mention, and let's delve into the top 5. Number 5 is Hungry Troll, and I think it's called Jurassic team. So this team is available to actually order. It's 18, that would be a value, 80 euros. And you get basically everything. You get 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 skinks, 6 sauruses, and 1 Spinogore with markers and plastic bases and things like that. So let's have a look and see if we can check out some of the miniatures, because I think they've got a really cool vibe to them. They are definitely dinosaur focused, which is in every way a strong thing. So you can see you've got the different models. This is really cool. I did like this. Can we get a bit of a zoom in? No, it's difficult to zoom in with these things. What we can do is this. Control tab, zoom, enhance, CSI style, boom. There we go. So you can see some of the models. They're really interesting. So these will be the skinks essentially, but you've got a bunch of different sculpts. So you've got the my human body is in the way. You've got this cool pterodon, which apparently I've been told by by Ian Warhammer Hannam's son is not a type of dinosaur. I'm like, okay, that's fine. All right, I didn't know that pterodons weren't dinosaurs, but they're not dinosaurs, so this team is therefore defunct. It's cool. I like the painted example. It looks realistic. They've got some cool basing to add a nice bit of flavor to it as well, and you can never really go wrong with that. Can we come out of there and go back to the main page? There we can. We can. So you get a whole bunch of different models. You've got the different sauruses. They've got a very strong dinosaur vibe, and it's pretty good. Hungry Troll do a great job. So this, I think, is a very viable and well-deserved number 5. Number 4 is Fanth. I love Fanth. They do some very good stuff. I love their dwarf team. I love their frog team. So cool, and they've done a good job with the snake style player model, getting that out so quickly. They've got a full Lizardman team here, and I guess we should start by looking at the price, because the price is pretty good for a fully produced team. You can choose plastic resin or metal. Apparently they're both 69 euros. Now, I ordered my snake dude from Fanth on the Thursday, and it was waiting for me when I got home on the Monday, maybe. So they're not slouches. They do great sculpts, and their casting is really good. The actual miniature production is really, really, really good as well. Sadly, the detail on the website isn't great, and this is kind of the only page you get. This is the only picture you get, but we can zoom in ever so slightly. So you get a bunch of different skinks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different skinks, and 6 of thesauruses, and the big chunky Croxagore. Now, this Fanth Croxagore was probably the best Croxagore that was out there for half a decade. Games Workshop have landed a good one. Brute Fun has landed a good one, and with 3D printing going live, there are a ton of very cool options for Croxagores out there. But this guy still holds true as one of the best models. And for €70 to get the entire team, and it's not just the entire team, you get it maxed out. You've got all the positionals, with the exception of the Chameleon Skink, and that's something that we're going to see as we go through this list, is the Chameleon Skink, where it was a kind of retro ad when Games Workshop reimagined the team. Some of these teams don't have the option, but it's the thrower piece. You can kind of model it differently, paint it differently. You've got the different skinks. You can definitely pull together something to represent a Chameleon Skink if you want, but it is definitely worth noting. And because of the way Fanth works, you can kind of flick through the website, and if you would prefer, you can kind of pick and choose your models. So you can have the Croxagore on its own. You can pick some of the Lizardmen up. Really good. Love Fanth. And for €70, it's 2 boxes of Games Workshop. Number 3 is UGKNE Miniatures. Now, if you guys have been following the channel, we did a print to pitch for this team when it first came out, and they have done some very good work here. There is a lot of character sculpted into this. Now, this is the STL version of the team. I'm sure that it's out there to be printed, probably by printed players in the UK. I'm sure there's a ton. You can get it from Etsy, and a team like this is probably going to be about £35–40 printed, which is not bad at all. And they've got some really fun sculpts, including some Chameleon Skinks and the Chameleon Skink Fan, which I absolutely flipping love as a model. Now, the actual character of the Sauruses is more more like big Snake Man style versus dinosaur style. So it's not like crocodile-y, it's kind of snaky, but their skinks are bang on the money. Like, they just look like slightly exaggerated, slightly more cartoony versions of the Games Workshop ones, and I think they're really cool. There's a lot of good motion. You've got a throwing skink. They've got some awesome star players as well. So this is one of the star player Sauruses, I think. There's a star player Croxagore and a star player Saurus. So that was the star player Crocs. Down here on the left hand side, you've got the star player Saurus. Now, there is no star player Saurus at the moment. I kind of thought maybe we would see something else, but hey, we got Glottal Stop, and the guy at the top there would make a reasonable Glottal Stop for now. And that's the cool thing here, is that actually every one of these miniatures is individually really, really, really good. Now, I do recommend this team, and if you want to know more about it, we've got a print to pitch video. Just type in print to pitch. In fact, just type in UGKNE Lizardmen, and I think one of the first videos you'll find is ours, where we've printed it out. We've shown the supports, show the model sizes, show the quality and the detail of them. It is really, really, really good. Like I said, this is the STLs, and UGKNE has a Patreon and a tribe. I don't know which one you would go with. I'm sure one's better value than the other. But $50 for the whole team, it is a lot. But when you think about all the different models that are in there, it's not bad. If you've got a 3D printer, you might look at that price and wince a little bit. I think Punga has kind of set the standard for a cost of a team, which is round about £25 to £30, because they kind of £10 a month for 2 to 3 months. So the average kind of works out at $30. So $30 for a team with a star player, big guy and stuff like that is kind of where you're expecting to be. But we're seeing an increase in the cost of STLs, which makes sense because the increase in cost to everything, and these guys are putting in a lot of time to doing a great work. But I think if you support UGKNE on My Mini Factory or Patreon, you'll probably be able to get a discount code for the team, because it is very, very, very cool, and definitely worth a follow. So yeah, $50 for the STLs, but I'm sure you can get them printed for about the same amount, and if you're in for a team, it's a very cool one. And talking of very cool teams, it is the Greebo Kowol team. Now, I believe, as of Friday morning, our review video for this very team has gone out and gone live, and you can see the models, see the quality, see the production values, and just see how well it's been done. And I love the chameleon skinks for this team. This top 5 is a really difficult top 5, but this team is absolutely excellent. You've got the sauruses, you've got the skinks, they've got a ton of scale detail, they've got the teeth. They're not well, they're again, they're more of the like Snake Man vibe. They're kind of, I guess, classic fantasy lizardmen instead of Games Workshop fantasy lizardmen, but they're well sized, they've got some cool armor, they've got some very cool details. It is a very good team, and again, one of the better Croxagores out there that really makes the team. And there's a ton of brilliant sculpts. They're big boys. It is an excellent team. It is €90, and that is the entire team. So you get, do we have a list of the players? Yeah, we do. You get 1 Krogaton Croxagore, 6 Krogul Sauruses, 2 Zis Chameleon Skinks, and 8 Moguls. So 17 players. You get a couple of balls, a reroll marker, a team marker, and things like that. They've even done the effort of going and presenting the size there. Now, I think it would be fair to put a warning out here. The issue with Greebo Games is that there's other models that you can just add to cart. So if you went here shopping for a Lizardman team, you may find another cool star player, or maybe you'll add this to it, or maybe you just get one more guy. It's a very dangerous game. But for quality, for speed, for value, Greebo absolutely crush it with this one. Which leads us to a number 1, and it's so difficult to pick a number 1. I went with the numbers of recommendations in the comments because I think I might be a bit biased towards Brute Fun's work. If you don't have access to a 3D printer, Greebo. It's the best one there. If you do have access to a 3D printer, then Brute Fun is a great way to go. Now let's see. Oh, you got some painted versions there, which is absolutely fantastic. Now Brute Fun's team has got a ton of variety, and this is just what I think gets it that one step beyond, and it is that customizability. So not only do the STL files come in solid sculpts, you've also got pre-supported sculpts, you've also got different heads, different arm versions for the Croxagore, for the star player. And this is it. This is a expensive bundle for an STL at $38, but this bundle here, you get everything. You can buy the models individually as well, and it will come to way less than $38 if you want. Obviously, you only have to buy a few Sauruses, a Croxagore, and a few Skinks, and mirror them if you want to do it that way. So you can probably squeak out the main team at like $20 if you want to. But for $38, you get flipping everything. We've got a Croxagore with a multitude of different heads. Every model in this kit has got at least 2 heads, basically. You've got ones with the masks, the helmets, no helmets. You've got a star player Saurus. You've got 6 Sauruses there. You've got a couple of chameleon skinks. I think we just need to flick through these images. You've got some painted versions there, which is cool. The star player. You've got these skinks, and this is it. You've got skink star players too. This bundle is just outrageous, and I absolutely love this team. Now, the style is very similar to the Games Workshop one. So again, if you like the Games Workshop one, or you don't like the Games Workshop one and you want something different, this may not be for you. But like I said, guys, I love what Brute Fun does, and I had to go with the votes in the thread for this one because it's so close at the top. The sculpts that Brute Fun has been doing has been amazing. This is probably my favorite one of his teams, which is saying a lot. Because the there's the Underworld team, the Necromantic team. I love this team. I love this team so much that I printed it out and painted it up. And it's Friday today as the video goes out. So last night you would have seen this team take on Ben's Amazons on the channel. Just the character of the skinks. It's just a better Games Workshop. It's just a better version of Games Workshop. The style is very similar. And I think that that's great. And you've got all the flexibility of those models and one of the best Kroxigors out there. The cool thing about this entire top 5 is that each of these teams is individually brilliant and good to go. You pick one of these, you will be fine. And that's the really sweet thing about Lizardmen, is every one of these teams is absolutely superb. And because they're kind of cool dinosaur lizard folk, they're going to paint up and look absolutely brilliant. But for value, for sculpting quality, I think the Brute Fun one is a great choice by you guys. And even though it's so close, the Greebo ones are produced so nicely, so they are also brilliant. It really comes down to the styles. If you want a Games Workshop style team and you've got a 3D printer, then the Brute Fun one is amazing and you will not regret it, because you've got all the pieces there to print whatever team you want to do. If you want to buy a set piece model and you don't like the Games Workshop one, then go with Greebo or Hungry Troll or Fanth, right? And then you've got the Ugly version as well. They're all awesome. You can't go wrong. And I think we're living in an absolute golden age of Blood Bowl. Anyway, you can probably buy this one from Printed Players as well if you want it for £30-40 too. So if you want to go and get a Lizardman team but don't want to get the Games Workshop one, you can splash out, get Greebo. You can go Printed Player, get like I said, it's a buyer's choice market. But support Brute Fun, support UGKNE, support Greebo, because they all do superb work. And more Blood Bowl is more better, guys. Right, I'm going to wrap up. Let me know what you think in the comments, and please highlight if there is a team that we've missed. But yeah, I'm going to disappear. Thank you very much for watching. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the channel even further, please like and subscribe. It really does help us out. Or come join us on YouTube Members or in Patreon, where you can get exclusive access to some content, some loot, early access to basically everything we do, as well as regular competitions. Or you can pick up some Bonehead Podcast loot either on our website at boneheadpodcast.com. We've got the Dungeon Bowl things, we've got tokens and stuff like that, or on our Spreadshirt site as well. Everything you do just helps us make more content and hopefully do it of better quality. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Happy blocking.